Listen, you put a stamp on this and send it to Santa. I just really don't want to talk about it.
Don't you understand? She tricked her.
No, Alan, I do not understand. Who tricked whom?
Heather tricked Susan into signing the paper.
You want a cup of coffee?
No, I don't want any coffee. I want some advice.
Oh, Alan, I've been giving you advice for the past 40 years, advice which you have chosen to ignore. Now, I fail to understand why you should keep coming back for more of the same thing that you didn't want in the first place.
Because I value your opinion.
Yeah? Only if it agrees with yours.
If I didn't want it, why would I come back asking for it all the time?
I don't know, Alan. Maybe you'd get some kind of a childish enjoyment out of the sound of my voice. I used to tell you bedtime stories every night. Put you right to sleep.
I don't remember that.
Well, of course not. That's when you were very, very young. And, well, you were quite adorable. It's funny, the older you get, the less adorable you become.
Are you trying to change the subject?
As a matter of fact, I am. You know, if I have to listen to one more word about those people and that baby, I swear to you, I'm going to pack my bags and join your mother in Palm Beach.
Oh, Alan, are you singing the same old song again?
I am just trying to explain the situation to my father, that's all.
I didn't ask him to, Monica. He insisted.
What is there to explain? Susan is the wife, Scotty is the husband, Jason is the child. It's what's called a family unit.
The only thing is, Jason is my child.
I wish you wouldn't keep reminding me of that, Alan. You know, I do try to be understanding and forgiving, but that is a sore spot.
You're all heart, Monica. Have I ever told you that before? You're all heart.
Yeah, well, I've known it all along. I just thought you'd forgotten.
I haven't forgotten anything, Monica. And I mean anything. Do I make myself clear? Now, I do not want my son living in the same house with Scotty Baldwin.
You know, Alan, I wish you could be as concerned about your legitimate son as you are about your illegitimate son. I might have a little more sympathy as to your parental upheavals.
I don't want any sympathy, Monica. I want some help.
The children will take care of themselves.
Since when, Edward?
Oh, they survive, Monica. They adapt. It's the money we need to take care of.
Ha ha, there's a Quartermain to the core.
Now, you see here, Father, I am not going
Now,
to...
look, Alan, you wanted my advice, and I'm going to give it to you. Now, look, forget about what's his name, Jason. I mean, he has plenty of people to take care of him. There's his mother, then there's that aunt of hers, that Mrs. Grant, precisely. And, well, there's also that blonde waitress.
Heather, and she's a hostess.
No. Well, Alan Jr. certainly gets plenty of attention around here.
Except from his father.
That's a lie.
Now, will you two listen to me? Concentrate on the money. $1 million, $250,000. Now, you think about that. You know, if you're not very careful, that money is going to fall right into the open, sweaty, grubby hands of Scotty Baldwin. Now, that is something to worry about.
The money goes with the child.
Well, that's my point.
It was a court order, remember?
Get it changed.
How?
A custody suit.
Wait a minute, Edward. Are you suggesting that
I'm saying Alan should institute a custody suit. With Scotty Baldwin in the picture, he has every reason.
over my dead body?
It's not your dead body I'm worried about.
Oh, that's reassuring.
What happens if Susan dies?
Baldwin gets everything.
But you don't know that for sure. Look, Monica, I know how you feel about Jason, but even you couldn't want him to fall into the hands of Heather and Scotty, and that's what'll happen if Susan dies.
Susan isn't going to die.
How do you know that?
I read the chart.
She's in intensive care.
Oh, Alan, the woman is as strong as an ox. She'd hang on to life if it killed her.
You call yourselves doctors. What right do either one of you have to say who is going to live and who's going to die?
We weren't saying anything of the sort.
Are you playing God Almighty with poor Susan?
Poor Susan? When did it become poor Susan?
Look, Monica, I don't like her any more than you do, but I certainly don't wish her dead.
Neither do we.
Well, I don't know where I stand on that one.
There you see, there you go again, concentrating on the wrong thing. Look, I'm telling you, as long as that misguided poor little creature is lying in that hospital bed, somebody has to take care of her child.
Edward, don't you mean someone has to take care of the child's cash? Isn't that a little more precise?
Yes, now you've got the idea, Monica. Good girl. Well, it is Quartermain money, is it not? I mean, a Quartermain should be handling it.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, then do what you have to do, my boy.
What's that?
March right over to that bank and get control of that money before Scotty Baldwin beats you to it.
I'll get your coat.
Oh, that's some real fun stuff planned for us. Right.
Thank you for seeing me. It is quite urgent.
So you said. Please sit.
Thank you. It's about my son, Jason.
Yes, I was sorry to hear about his mother. How is she?
She's critical. That's why I'm here.
I'm really very sorry.
Well, we're hoping for the best, of course, but no matter what happens, she's going to be hospitalized for quite a while.
Well, at least you know she'll be taken care of.
Yes, well, I'm not concerned about her care. She is getting the very best, but what I am concerned about is my son's care. I mean, he's going to need quite a bit while she's going to be in hospital.
Well, fortunately, you provided very well in your settlement.
Yes, I know the money is there, but we're going to need somebody reliable to administer it.
Quite right.
Someone to pay bills and write checks, and it's going to be impossible for Susan Moore while she's so incapacitated in the hospital, so I felt it was only right and proper that I should come along and volunteer my services.
Well, that's very good of you, Doctor.
Well, it's the least that I can do.
You have her power of attorney, then.
I beg your pardon?
Her power of attorney. She'll have to give it to you if you're to take over.
Well, she's too ill to be bothered with anything like that.
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to have it if you're to take over her affairs and the baby's.
But it's my money and my child.
Yes, but Miss Moore has both custody of the child and control of the funds.
Hang on for 1 second. You don't seem to want...
Excuse me, sir. There's a gentleman outside who insists on seeing you.
Well, I'm busy with Dr. Quartermain. Tell him to wait.
I told him that, but he said to tell you that his name is Scotty Baldwin, and it's urgent.
Baldwin?
Well, he'll have to wait. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, did he say why it was so urgent?
Something about Jason Moore.
I would like to hear this, please.
Very well. Send Mr. Baldwin in.
Couldn't wait. How you doing, Alan?
What are you doing here?
I might ask you the same thing.
I came here to see about my son.
Doing great. Last time I saw him.
The only thing you can see in that child is his money.
That's funny. I think you're interested in the same thing yourself.
No, I'm interested in his welfare. That's much more than I can say for you.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm concerned. Enough to do something about it. So to do it right here. Take a look.
What is that, please?
Go ahead, tell him.
Susan Moore's power of attorney.
Can I see that?
Take a good look at that. Seeing is believing. So you see, I care about your kid more than you do. I'm gonna take real good care of him. Every way I can. You go ahead. Hit your best shot this time. Because it's assault and battery, and that's 1 year in this state.
Are you all right, Dr. Quartermain?
I need to use your phone.
Yes, certainly.
I want to talk to Lee Baldwin. No, I will not wait. Better yet, you tell him Alan Quartermain called and I'm on my way over. What the hell is the matter with your secretary? Didn't she tell you I called?
Well, yes, but...
But nothing. The situation has become impossible.
Alan, what situation?
Susan, Jason, you've got to help me do something about
Alan, there
this
is
thing.
nothing I can do until you tell me what has happened.
Your son, that is what's happened.
Scotty? Their marriage is perfectly legal,
I don't
Alan.
give a damn about their marriage. She has given him power of attorney. What? I was in the bank. He came barging in. He's got a piece of paper in his hand with her signature on it. He's got power of attorney. He controls everything.
Well, it's a very predictable move, Alan. I didn't think he'd do it this soon. I'm sorry.
You're sorry. That's wonderful. My son is at Scotty Baldwin's mercy, and you're telling me you're sorry?
Now, look, this is just as painful for me as it is for you.
Will you please tell me what to do?
Well, very little at the moment, I'm afraid.
You're supposed to be one of the best attorneys in this town, and you're telling me there's very little?
I'm not after the fact. Why do you keep coming to me when it's too late?
How am I supposed to know this sort of thing is going to happen anyway?
Scotty and Susan are now man and wife, Alan.
I don't care about the fact that they're man and wife. He can't do this.
He has done it. And there's no way you can wrest that power of attorney from him. There is not a court in this state that wouldn't think it's perfectly reasonable for him, since he's her husband, to have it.
Excuse me. Who are you working for, him or me?
Now, I'm just trying to point out to you what you're dealing with here.
No. You don't want to get involved in any of this, do you? You don't want to get involved because he's your son and you're trying to protect him.
Now, I resent that. Scotty neither needs nor wants my protection, and I am not inclined to give it to him.
Then will you help me?
Look, I am sick and tired of getting these legal fait accomplis that I'm expected somehow magically to reverse. Now, if you want to do something about Scotty's having Susan's power of attorney, I got a suggestion for you. You go on over to the hospital and talk to her about it.
Susan, it's me, Alan. Can you hear me? Oh, you're awake. How do you feel?
Do you care?
Oh, of course I do.
I felt better.
Well, you've had a bad time.
Tell me about it.
Listen, do you feel strong enough? I really need to talk to you.
About what?
I don't want to upset you.
You couldn't. Not anymore.
All right, fine. I need to talk to you about Scotty. Why did you give him power of attorney?
None of your business.
But it is, Susan. I care very much about you and Jason.
Since when?
Always. Susan, I've got to tell you, what you've done is wrong.
How dare you tell me what's right or wrong?
Look, I don't want to upset you, so just take it easy. I'm only saying it's a dangerous thing, what you've done, not only for you, but for Jason.
You're the dangerous one.
Susan, how do I convince you how concerned I am about you and Jason?
Oh, you showed us just how concerned you are when you walked out on us. So don't start pretending now.
Susan,
What are you doing in here?
I have a right to be here.
Not if you're going to be upsetting my wife.
I'm a doctor, Baldwin.
Not hers. Now get out, please.